I watched this episode of Stranger Things. I finally got to it. My wife and I have been watching the entire series, like many of you out there. And I heard about what happened before we got to this. And I went into it hoping that maybe people were overblowing it, that maybe that it would make sense in the context of the show, that maybe it was just like, oh, people are freaking out for nope. It was every bit as atrociously weird and terrible and completely did not fit the context of the show whatsoever, to the point where I'm sitting there and when you're watching Netflix and you're scrolling on Twitter on your phone and stuff or whatever, you're not 100% paying attention. I had this out because I was like replying to a tweet or something, and I looked up and I was like, oh no, it's that part. So I quickly switched the camera and took a picture of this, and I posted this. And this went pretty viral too. This has 6,900 likes already. And all I said was, just got to that part, and it's even worse than I expected. This is so effing out of place and stupid. Get these effing woketards out of the writer's room. My wife, from her perspective, was like, bless her heart. She's very blissfully ignorant to what's happening right now. And she was like, oh, it's not that bad. It was fine. It's just one of those. I was like, but it really was, because you need to take a step back and look at it for what it is. Stranger Things, a show that takes place in the context of the 80s, all about the 80s, themes of the 80s everywhere, the vibes of the 80s. It's great. To have a scene like this during that time period makes no sense whatsoever. Like this did not happen in the 80s. People were not like open about it back then, especially in a large group of people. Like maybe if he was like one-on-one with his mom and telling, like, okay, maybe that would have been a little bit more believable. But even then I would have been like, why is this in the show? But then to have the fact that it's just him and his mom and everyone else coming into the room and they're all sitting there listening to him, and he's just like, I like dudes. I'm like, great, bro. Like the world is ending outside. No one cares where you stick your thing. Okay. Like can we focus on Vecna? Can we get back to like the plot? Like what is this? Why does this keep happening to my shows every time? And once you see it, it's one of those things. It's like, you can't unsee it. And going back to the way my wife feels blissfully ignorant about it, she reminds me of me when I first played through The Last of Us Part 2, when I'm like, yeah, the game's fine. It was fun. That part was a little bit odd, but whatever. Like, I enjoyed the game for what it was, not thinking much more into it than just, hey, artistic directions and stuff. Yeah. And then you take a step back, you look back in hindsight, and you're like, wait a second. They keep doing this. They keep inserting the agenda everywhere, every step along the way. And at some point, you got to raise your hand and be like, why is this in here at all? Like in the context of the show, I keep going back to, like, if this was taking place in the modern era of 2025, 2026, I'd be like, this is cringes, but hey, I guess it's the times we're living in. This is what people do, I guess. This is in the 80s. This didn't happen. And again, even if it did, in the context of the show, it makes no sense. The writers putting this scene together had to bend over backwards to logically make it make sense with the storyline and stitch it together and be like, oh, this is why he needs to expose why he's gay. No one cares, bro. No one cares. Like, don't even go there. Why are we doing this again with the sexuality and what you do when you close your bedroom door? I don't care. It's oh God, it kills me every time. This is Brendan Leslie. It's getting trashed because the penultimate episode of the series was objectively terrible. The only payoff we got was finding out a teenager telling everyone he's gay gives him the power to save the world. forced left-wing agenda. I honestly could not have said it better myself. New York Post, Stranger Things gets review bombed as fans bash woke and cringy, penultimate, comically bad. I mean, it really was. I didn't laugh. I was incredulous. I was just like in awe. I'm like, huh? What? Watch 4.5 fucking seasons of the show with very, very minimal of this kind of stuff. And then they wait for this part to just ram it down your throat. Like, you gotta wonder what they're trying to get at. Seriously, the absolute worst and most unnecessary 5 minutes in TV movie series history. I personally was really digging to think of another moment when I'm watching a TV show or a movie where I felt the way that I did when I watched this. And it came so out of left field, even though I knew it was coming because I saw people talking about it online before I even got there, that I was just like, oh my God, it's actually worse. And I was prepared for this, and it was worse than I thought it was going to be. It was rough. It took 12 hours to shoot. Oh yeah, so they had a whole thing. They were talking about how the whole cast was breaking down and they were all in the room together. It was such an emotional moment because apparently that Will actor guy is actually gay in real life too. So it really hit home for how it transcended the show to his. I'm like, I don't give a. What's this have to do with the show? What are we doing? How did it get here? Or he needed to tell everyone so he could have a clear head and not have his fear being abandoned by his friends, used by the evil dude that can manipulate minds, which is fine. But it was the climactic moment of the biggest episode of the series. Terrible writing and forced agenda, which, by the way, I go back to this. It's like, no, this is writers bending over backwards to inject a gay agenda and excusing it away, being like, no, this is why we needed to make him gay. It makes sense because we found a fault and he needed to expose he was gay so that there wasn't a fault. It's like, no. I'm not falling for that shit. That is such Bush League writing. Terrible writing. If this was accurate to the actual 80s, the group would accuse him of having AIDS. Oh my God. This one cracked me up. Nina Infinity. The world is ending. Will. The lightning around Steve Buscemi. Oh, it's classic. It's classic. And shout out to I'm Batman for the heads up on this because, like I said, this is getting review bombed really bad. But you know what's really interesting? If you filter the reviews by country and India, very strange that there's such a large amount of 10s coming from India. Almost like they're botting it to go higher in the ratings. Because overall, right now, Stranger Things Chapter 7, The Bridge ratings, a 5.4 out of 10. The lowest rated episode in series history. And it's not even close. All from that 5-minute scene. And you know what? Justified. I have no issues at all with it. 100%. This is what I felt about it as well. I would have review bombed the shit out of this too. I don't want this in my shows. I'm sorry. Like, you've lost the benefit of the doubt with the gay agenda. It used to be like, okay, you're doing it for the storyline. Then you actually find out who's writing it. It's like, oh, it's always an agenda, whether it's a video game, a TV series, a book, a movie. They're always Smurf blue-haired, nose rings, drawn-on tattoos, short hairs, liberal white women. Every single time. It's so exhausting. It's so exhausting. These are the people that are destroying what we love. Every time. It always goes back to them. So when you say, oh, just accept it, bro. It's like, no, do some research, find out who's writing it, and realize, no, it actually has nothing to do with writing a talented episode or show. It's just someone trying to push an agenda down your throat. At the end of the day, that's what it is. I was very disappointed personally from, like I said, one of my favorite series that I've ever seen. Leading up to that point, I'm just like, no, sorry. That literally shoots it all to shit. Like, they're going to start doing that stuff with it. I still love the first season. It was amazing. Second season, very good. Third season, still decent. Fourth season, that's okay. All right, I'll follow through on the fifth. Like, what are we doing? We've spiraled out. The characters are all aged out of who they're supposed to be. They've lost the magic that they had bottled up. It's gone. And I guess right now we'll just finish it out with the next episode and move on. But damn, they had something special, and they lost it.